Hey y'all. All right, welcome back to another review of Power. This is season 6, episode 15. This is it, the season finale. Exactly how we plan. So starting out, Tasha, she knocking on the door at Q's house. She's ready for her peen appointment. And I'm trying to figure out when they even started this because we haven't seen a progression of their relationship or anything like that for her to be popping up at his house while he's trying to put his kids down. She showed up like she familiar. I don't know. I guess that was supposed to just we were supposed to just assume all of that had happened. Okay, Courtney. Um, so she going in there and he want to talk about James and asking all these questions and she like, listen, I'm here on my knees unzipping your pants and you talking to me about James. No. So, she changes the subject and all of that, reassures him, she's gonna handle him. He ain't gotta worry about James, all is well. Then we got to see a whole spread of Tasha and Quentin. And the whole time Tariq is at home, he walking around the house looking at pictures, bored because it's the middle of the night, but he worried because his mama ain't home. And then he finally texts her, "Where are you?" And she gets it, and Quentin is asleep, and she just whisper, "I gotta go," and heads on out. But before she leaves, she sees that there's a gun on the nightstand, and so she just takes a mental note of that and heads on out. Then when she gets home, she's trying to sneak in, but Tariq busts about his bedroom. Where you been? Where you been, girl? And she's like, excuse me. I think you forgot who's the child and who's the parent around here. Don't be asking me where I been. And he was like, I wanted to talk to you about Ghost. And she's like, I don't want to talk about him. Why are you trying to talk about, what about him? I went and saw him today. I talked to him about putting his hands on you. Listen, child, you don't have to do all of that. I got your daddy locked. I got that on lock. Don't worry about James. I can handle that. And then she said that she told him that she was with a man that she's been seeing, and he talking about, well, you went out with a nigga that I ain't even met. Yes, cause I don't have to introduce you to him. I barely know him. I ain't finna just be bringing him around you. And don't be questioning me, little boy. But she says she tells him, she took care of it. And she thinks, she's sure that Ghost will be arrested because she done told the police, that he had something to do with Terry Silver's death. She led the police to a whole lot of evidence that shows that he did it. And, so you ain't got to worry. Don't worry your pretty little head, Tariq, about your daddy because I got that. And he was like, you snitched? Snitches ain't shit, ma. And she's like, listen, sometimes you gotta do it in order to get people out your way. Your daddy taught me that. And which that's the same thing they did to Kanan. So we ain't surprised Tasha, it will snitch on you before she end up in jail. She gonna snitch on you. Then the next morning, Tariq come in there shaking her, Ma, wake up. They see on the news like we've seen for the past 4 weeks that James was running, with Walsh as her lieutenant governor. So it's like the plan did not work. Your plan didn't work, Ma. He finna win. He finna go to Albany. Like, what happened to the plan? And she's like, listen, I'm just as surprised as you are. And Tariq gets a text from Elisa Marie. So he runs out, and then she's like, that's cool, I gotta make a call anyway. And she immediately calls Saxe, like, what? I know you see this on the news. What's going on? I thought he was supposed to be like, did you not find anything at the garage? And he's like, listen, I can't tell you that. Well, since you found something at the garage, why hasn't he been arrested? And he's telling her these things take time, and it's nothing that they can do about it. We just gotta wait and see. Then Tariq is with Elisa Marie and her auntie, and he listening to the recording again, and I don't know a Tommy. Don't know Ghost either. I don't know none of these people. We saw this plenty of times. Then he goes and he texts Tommy, that he needs to meet with him. And he goes and meets with Tommy and tells Tommy about all of that stuff he found out, while he was with Elisa Marie. And then he tells Tommy where Elisa Marie and them stand. He's like, listen, don't hurt Elisa Marie. That's a good girl. She's cool. That's good people. She done been through enough. And he's like, listen, do you not know what kind of business we in? I got to torture her a little bit to get what I need. Because she got something that I want. And that's how it goes in this business. Don't be trying to be all soft and, feeling a little something in your heart for her. Because if she don't fess up, then it just is what it is. I got to get it by any means necessary. And he just, and he just leaves. He's like, well, listen, just don't, hang her over a roof. No, I reserve that for family. Then she gets a text from Tasha after Tommy leaves, and she says Dre wants his money. So then we see him meeting up with Dre again. And, they have their words back and forth. Dre wants him to take him to go. So he's like, we not even cool like that. Like, I ain't even speaking to him. And you think that I'm finna take you around there to him? But can you get me a gun? That's all I want to know. He's like, I'll get you the gun if you take me around there to go. So that's what it is. He reluctantly, has to do that because they, Dre will just go to the police about that Raymond Jones situation. Then we see Tasha. She goes to visit Raina at the, her gravesite. And she runs into Ghost on that asshole stuff like he always is. He's so smug, talking to her crazy. And, he just, he likes to point his finger at her so much about the same things that they were doing together. Like, I don't understand that. Telling her to stop selling drugs and, go legit. And because he's completely legit. Because she tried to throw out there, you out here trying to run for lieutenant governor. What about that background check they're going to do on you? And then they're going to find out about everybody. And then everybody's going to be in hot water. And he's like, I passed my background test. My background check. I don't know about you, girl. I don't know what's going to happen to you and what's on your record. But on my record, it's clean. They ain't got nothing on me, girl. Sorry. But you need to stop selling drugs. And he's like, and I'm what he call her? Oh, and he said, and then I think that you should know I'm seeing somebody. She's like, Ramona ain't about to raise my kids. Listen, Ramona is a good influence. You ain't nothing but a half smart chicken head that'll still be in the hood if it wasn't for me. It's those kind of things that I just don't understand why Tasha don't haul off on him every single time. Like, he deserves it. He just be talking crazy. She just be standing there and taking it, poor thing. Because she is a half smart chicken head. She a bird. Because she can't see past, dope dealing and fast money and the penthouse. That's all she care about. And she can get and have all of those things legitimately. She should have definitely, sided with her husband and been like, all right, well, you want to get out? Then I guess we get out. We done made all our millions anyway. Let's go make some more legitimately. But nah, she want to sell drugs. She like that life. But he still don't have to be talking to her like that. I don't like that. And then, he leaves. Then Tasha's back at the house, and then Tommy shows up, and she's like, oh, I'm so glad you're here. We got to do something about Ghost. Like, he's crazy, talking crazy. Like, he talking about he gonna, take the kids and this, that, and the third. Like, he talking crazy. And he's like, no, he walking through the house, opening doors. No, that sounds like a big problem, but I got another problem of my own. Holding up that earring. Then we got to see this situation again between her and Tommy. She begging for her life. She's explaining, why she killed Keisha and what Keisha was, all about. The fact that she had signed that agreement to, basically tell on everybody and go into witness protection. But, and then in this one, the first time we saw this, she turned around and had her back to him. And in this one, he was standing over her, with the gun in her face. And so she was on her knees, like begging for her life. Why do we have to change that up? Just because this is somebody else's vantage point. This is, so Tasha, so when Tommy saw it, when Tommy experienced it, her back was turned. But when Tasha experienced it, she got on her knees. Courtney, no, you got to make it make sense. You're going to have to make it make sense. Then he leaves and no, wait. Yeah, after that, after he leaves, because he lets her live, after he leaves, she gets a text from Saxe telling her that that they need to meet. And then we see Tariq that taking Dre to go meet with Ghost. We see that again, Ghost upset. Don't be bringing the enemy around here. Like, now I'm looking at you like an enemy because I can't, I'm not doing him. So why you bringing him up in here to my office? Leave, get out. And I'm going to deal with you later. And so I'm glad that they didn't put us through that whole Dre and Ghost situation again. But when Tariq leaves and he's in the hall, he gets a text from his teacher. His teacher, I forgot his name, but the teacher said that the police were there and they raided the school. So on his way out, they took all the dope. What is the man's name though? Because I think I thought I wrote it down. I guess I didn't. Anyway, on his way out of Truth, he goes and hides the gun that he got from Dre. And then he leaves. When he rolling around to his school, walking up the back way, he gets stopped by a security guard, and the security's like, you can't go in there. And then he sees his teacher getting arrested, and they taking all of the drugs out of the teacher's trunk. And the security guard asks him, have you ever seen your teacher, Mr. So-and-so? Have you ever seen him dealing drugs? And he was like, no, never. I've never seen that. Never. All right, but I'm going to head out. And on his way out, he gets a text from Tommy. And Tommy, does he get a text from Tommy? He gets a text from Vincent asking, has he seen Tommy? And of course, Tariq doesn't say yes. He says no, and goes on by his business. Then we see Tasha. She shows up at Saxe's house for that meeting. And Tamika standing there in her new pink suit, beat. She got a promotion. So now her hair done. She got a new suit. Looking good. And I don't know if it's the same pink suit we've been seeing, but I feel like it might be. I feel like we done seen this pink suit a few times. But they need her help because they really got to get something tangible on James so that they can arrest him because they don't have nothing. And then they start bouncing out ideas, and Saxe is like, wait a minute, did he kill Keisha? And she's like, I don't know about nothing like that, and they're like, they need to get something out of Tate then, because maybe Tate knew about the affair. Maybe he talked to Tate about something. So she leaves and she's like, listen, I'll go find out what I know. Then Tasha, she runs up on Tate, of course, because she's like, listen, what do you know? And we see, they're back and forth again. But he throws out there that James might be, or no, he is going to turn Tariq in for Raymond Jones's murder. And she, she don't believe that, of course, right off the bat. This little piece of hair is bothering me. She don't believe it, but she still ends up taking that back to Ghost, trying to, dig a little bit and find out a little bit. But he plants that seed. Then they go, Tasha is back at the penthouse. Ghost is gonna show up, but she's there with the landlord. I don't know, the owner, the realtor. I don't know who it was, but she had to do a walkthrough of the penthouse, after the damages, to make sure that it, is sellable. So Ghost shows up, and they have their, spar with words as usual. He's still talking crazy. She's still letting him do it. throwing in her face the drug dealing and how it's her fault that Tariq doesn't respect and admonish his daddy, because he don't, but he blame it on Tasha. And then, she asked him, did you ever love me? And he's like, of course I did. What kind of question is that? And a part of me still does, but girl, I can't. I can't sit and do bird stuff with you. You loved the biggest drug dealer in New York City, not James St. Patrick, who you got standing right here. And so that was that. He leaves. Back at the house, Tariq and Tasha, they eating, and Tasha tells Tariq, Ghost may, turn you in, or he wants you to confess. And he's like, I'm not doing that. He said that he would take the fall from me. And she was like, listen, I thought that he would, but it don't look like he is. It looked like he's going to go to Albany. And when he's there, maybe he can get you a deal. Then Tariq tells Tasha about, that's his name, Radner, about Mr. Radner getting arrested. And he don't want to get caught up in that. So he ain't been back to school. So he worried about his school situation, because since that he just ain't been back. And then he tells her about meeting up with Dre. And she's like, why you meeting up with Dre? He's like, listen, Dre is good with me. Like, we good. I had to, he was gonna snitch on me about Raymond Jones. So, but we square. Me and Dre good. And then she said that then he told her, he got a gun or whatever. And she tries to reassure him, that he'll be fine if he confesses, because she's still leaning towards that as well. It's like, you might as well, because what else we gonna do? Somebody got to go down for something in this family, because they on us. So you might have to confess, and don't get your hopes up. But you need to confess. I think your dad will, look out for you when he gets to his, position. And he's like, you believe that? No, not really. I really don't believe that. Then Tariq meets with James again, and he's upset, because he's like, I thought you said that you was gonna, take the rap from me. He's like, I thought I would too, but then, I thought about it some more, and I think that you should confess. He pouring drinks, and then this is when Tariq all upset, because James is, basically getting on him, being an a-hole like he always is, because he gonna do that anyway. That's how he is. And Tariq blows up. I hate you. F you, I hate you. And I'm like, all right, Tariq, all right. And then, James say some more hurtful stuff and just leaves it at that. Tell him he disappointed in him. You trying to make me mad. And I ain't even angry. I ain't got no energy. I don't even care about being angry with you no more. I'm just disappointed. Again. And Tariq standing there crying. And then they have a little scuffle and everything, and he threatened his life. Tell him, don't force my hand, because Tariq, asked him about Breeze. He asked him, tell me something that you've done. You want me to confess? Then you confess first and tell me what you've done. Start with Breeze. And he tells him the story about Breeze. We see that again, where he gave Breeze one more chance to change his mind, and he didn't. And he said he had to take Breeze out. And so again, Tariq leaves the encounter with his dad pissed off, mad, hating him even more. And Tariq goes home and tells Tasha about, the encounter. And she's like, he really said he would kill you? It's like, in more words than one, yes, Ma. Yes, he threatened my life. So their back is up against the wall at this point. It's like, what can we do? What we gonna do? And then they cook up the plan for Tasha to, lay low in the Escalade, for Tariq to let her know when he's had, turned off all the lights, for him to be, at the party at Truth and wait around afterwards, so they can set it all up. Um, and they agree on it, and look out for me like I look out for you. Be there for me like I am there for you. We in this together. The plan is a go. So Tasha goes to Quentin's house, giving him some BS. He didn't sign the papers. Like, I can't believe it. And he's like, I'll go over there. Let me go. No. Don't go over there and get yourself killed, Quentin. This is not what you want. You need to mind your business. She stops him, of course. No. I'll do it. I'll do it. But I would love to have you there. I need you there. I need you. I need you there with me so I can do it. So I can have the courage to go there and do it. But you're not going in. I'm doing it. And he buys all of that. And then we see Tariq is at Truth. He goes and he takes the gun, puts it in a bag, and puts it back into, I guess it was a locker, puts it back into a locker and goes and joins the party. And he walks up on Ghost, and Ghost is talking to him. Well, first he walks up on him and tries to give him one more chance. You really want me to confess? You really think that's what you want me to do? And he's like, yeah, I think that's a great idea. You should confess. Come on over here and meet with the mayor. And Tariq is like, because that was his test. Like his dad gave Breeze. He gave his dad the same test. And Ghost failed. Then Tariq gets a text from Tommy to meet, upstairs on the roof. And this is when we see that whole thing with with Tommy trying to get Tariq to, help him stop Dre from killing Ghost. He's like, Dre is on his way over here to kill Ghost. Like, we can stop him. Help me help your daddy. And he's like, I ain't trying to help him. And plus, for one, he got to stick to the plan. Because his mama told him, don't derail from the plan. You got to stick to the plan. So, he gonna stick to the plan. Then Tariq texts his mom. Well, he's about to text her, everything's a go. But then he calls her. And while he's calling her, when he's calling her, she's in the car with Quentin, so she doesn't answer. And then, after that phone call, he hangs up and calls Vincent and tells Vincent, I know where Tommy is. And, Vincent's like, oh, now you want to tell me where he is. Listen, this is where he is. I know his coordinates. So he tells that. I guess, that's to prove the few episodes before that, that's to prove all of that to be true. When Vincent said that he found out where Tommy was, when he rolled up on Tommy and they had that shootout in the street, and then Tommy pistol whipped Vincent and then shot him. All of that was because Tariq said he knew where Tommy was. Then Quentin and Tasha, they riding, and he asking for the address. He's like, listen, you said it was around here. What's the address? She's like, oh, no, you don't need the address. I know where it is. I know a quicker way. Go around here, back, deep in the alley, and wait right there, okay? Will you wait for me? And so he waits, and she gets out the car, whatever, and, goes inside. And, Tariq is still at Truth, and Tasha, when she gets dropped off, she goes inside this back door and gets into the garage, and she's able to get into the Escalade, and she sits back there like, oh yeah. So when he get in here, I'm gonna get him. But she sees herself in the mirror, and she look up there like, oh, look at me with this gun. Then she see Sean. I mean, for what? What? Is he her moral compass? Because he was watching her in that same back seat playing her box. So why is Sean the moral compass? But she sees him, and she's just, sitting back there. And then she texts Tariq, I'm here. Don't stay out too late. And then he starts to text her back. And when he's doing that, he, starts thinking, well, maybe not. He's looking down. Hold on. Oh, that's what happened. Kanan. I forgot all about Kanan. Kanan pops up, which is why he stopped texting her. He sees Kanan out of nowhere, And Kanan's like, you gonna let a woman do your job? Like, come on. I know you better than that. You better than that. They have a whole little father-son talk. And Kanan goes away, and that gives him the juice he needs, and he, comes out of that text that he was sending his mom. And so that alerts her, because it's like, wait a minute. Why you not texting me back now? Is she thinking? And she think about the gun at Truth. And she got to run inside like, oh, Lord, it's a gun in there that's accessible to him. I got to go in here because he must be about to do it himself. And so Tariq walks up to James. He's like, what you doing here? Because the lights is out. Nobody's in there. And he definitely didn't know that anybody was in there, So he rolling up on him. He tried to give him, he tells him, I tried to give you one more chance. And you just wouldn't do it. And Tariq is clearly upset, like that crazy upset, like, yeah, you gonna snitch on me, and you gonna snitch on mom, like his back is against the wall. You know how crazy people do. Like, I can't let you get out of my house and go and tell somebody. I just can't do it. I can't do it. So Tariq pulled a gun out, shoot Ghost, and Tasha run in. It's too late. We see where Tommy sees that it's Tariq and then goes, oh, let him go. And now he done clearly said, let him go. And when we saw that the first time, I thought I heard let it go. But now it's clear. In this one, in this go round, he said, let him go. Anyway, Tariq is all flustered. What did I do? What did I do? I done killed my daddy, Lord. What did I do? And, flustered, but still lucid enough to, make the plan, make the escape plan. Tell her to go get rid of the gun and all of that. I got this. I got the rest. And Tariq goes and changes his clothes and all of that. And then, he circles the block, I guess, and then comes back around. And the police are there by then. And I need to talk to my dad. 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 And them people, because I would have been looking at him like, now I ain't told you nothing. So you look guilty. That is Killer 101. That is Find the Killer 101. The person that's the most emotional when ain't nobody told you nan detail. You don't know who in there. You don't know what's happened in there. And yet, you showing out. Because you already know what that happened to your daddy because you did it. So now they're going to be looking at you, Tariq. All because you want to go try to double back and save face and, create some form of an alibi. Nah. That's so convenient. And them people looking at you now. Then the next day, the people are back at the, I guess, I don't know, police station, FBI place. I don't know. Jacob was his name. I think his name was Jacob, the other boss that was there. But he walking out with his boxes. He done got fired. And Saxe got his job now. Tasha, Tariq, and the mama, they meet with the lawyer. And the lawyer basically tell them, listen, everything was left to the kids. And mama, he gonna pay your rent for the rest of the year. But that's it. And Tasha, you don't get nothing. Not one red cent. Tariq is like, don't worry about it, Ma. We're going to take care of you. He's like, but hold that thought. You're not taking care of nobody until you finish at a 4-year college. That's when you going to take care of somebody. But until then, it's the struggle, guys. The mama is so distraught. Like she's entitled to this man's money. If she don't sit down somewhere, you the last person going to get left with something, lady. I was upset that he didn't leave Tasha nothing because that's the mother of your kids. Like, you're not going to leave her nothing to take care of these kids that are still in her care. Now, Tariq about to, be in college, that's something different. Raina is gone, but Yaz is still in her care. You're not going to make sure that she can care for Yaz? Like, that's selfish and stupid on his part because he's just mean and malicious. That's the only reason he didn't leave her nothing, because he's just being mean. Then they leave, and the grandma talking about, what we gonna do for money? Lady, you gonna go work at Walmart and be a greeter. That's your option. Tariq, though, as they're leaving, they get, tight lip detective. She roll up. Y'all need to come on down here to the station. We got a couple questions. She's like, listen, my family grieving. Yeah, all that. Come on down. So they roll them on in the bus and bust them on down there to talk. And Tariq in there with Saxe, and Tasha's, she's being interrogated by tight lip detective. And Tasha's not giving in. She's not saying nothing. But after some time, Tariq gets, acts like he's okay. I need some water. Can I get some water, please? And the child advocate is like, listen, whatever he say is off the record. And so she leave and go get him some water, because he needs some water to process this and talk about it. And then he changed his whole tune. He's like, cause Sax finna, try to, have a heart to heart, to get him to confess. And he's like, listen, I saw you. What? Yeah, I saw you. I saw you with a gun. That night that Ghost was killed, I saw you. And I think that Dre did it, because both Ghost, all these folks, child, both Tasha and Tariq, they agreed to blame it all on Andre, because it was Andre's gun that he killed Ghost with. So they both in there telling that story. And he's like, so I think Andre did it. You trying to say something else, but I would hate to tell the people that I saw you. So did Andre do it? And Sax sits down, weighing his options, like, damn, I just got this job, and here you go blackmailing me. Yeah, Andre did it. You right. Andre did it. And so Sax go in there trying to sprinkle that and spread that seed to tight lip detective, and she ain't buying. She's like, what? He's like, yeah, Dre did it. He's the one. He ran out, and when he was running out, he punched you in the face. He's the one who did it. Like, he was there. He did it. And she's standing there puzzled, and he's like, and when we and if we can prove this, you out of a job, sis, because you the one let him out. Sucks to be you, huh? And he walk off giggling, while she's standing there like, nah, wait a minute. Then tight lip detective, she immediately calls the jail. She's like, listen, I need to sit down with him. And when she gets there, she finds out that Dre had been murdered. So now she got to talk to 2-Bit, and she go in there to 2-Bit, throwing all this stuff she know about everybody in the streets and all these murders that done happened. She's like, but I know you ain't killed James St. Patrick. Do you know who did? She always trying to get somebody to snitch, thinking that they gonna do it. Granted, in the past, the rest of them have, and they have ended up dead, because she told them about Spank. She told them about Dre. All of them. And 2-Bit ain't give her nothing. That's all he could give her. Then after that, we see Tasha and Simon, they meet up for dinner, and they're grieving about James, and he's like, oh, young man, gone too soon. And she want to get down to business. Listen, I can give you truth if you can just get my child in school. And he's like, I can do that. I can do that. I got my name on all the buildings over here. I'm going to do that for you. But you're going to do something for me. You're going to come work for me. Okay, I'll come work for you, Simon. Whatever. Simon also told her that Dre was dead, so now that's out. That whole little alibi, whatever, that whole little story is out. That motive can just go out the window. Dre is dead. So, of course, she go back home, and she tells Tariq about, Dre being dead, so now it's like, what we gonna do? And it's like, listen, we'll figure it out. She thinks, dang, I got that gun. I had that gun that nigga had. Let me call the police. I know who killed James St. Patrick. So she done frame, what's his name, Quentin, for James's murder. And I guess within that hour, she was in his house and she in his bed. They in the throes, getting it in, and then the police bust in and arrest him. And she's standing over there in the corner in the sheets. Sorry to that man. Cause Tasha, what is this? Tasha, tell him you was with me. Tell him. I don't know you. I just met you this morning. Sorry. And so she thinks she got it all figured out. And they're at the house the next day, and the police roll up in there on her, and it's tight-lipped detective, and I think Saxe was there too. And Tariq's like, tell him it was me, tell him the truth, tell him, because he don't want his mama to go to jail. And she's just like, listen, live your life, Tariq, live your life. She got to surrender at that point, because first she was like, I thought y'all arrested his killer. And she's like, yeah, we did, and he told us everything. He led us straight to you. You the one, girl, you the one. So they arrest Tasha. And that's that, essentially. That's that. They show us the sequel, the trailer for the sequel. I don't know if I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it. Who am I kidding? I'm going to watch it. I just don't know if I'm going to review it. If it ain't good, ain't no reason for me to be getting on here and talking about it. But if it's got some good stories, because Tasha's going to be, she still got a job. She's going to be there. They add, some people. They add Mary J. Blige and Method Man. I love Method Man, so I'm here for him. Saxe is going to be on there again, getting on my nerves. I can't stand him. But he going to be on there again. Still trying to do what? Oh, still trying to arrest Tariq. Because Tariq going to be down there to that new school selling drugs. So, or caught after Mr. Radner say where he got all the drugs from. It's finna be all bad. It's finna be so good, though. I didn't really talked about it enough to get excited. Anyway, guys, that's all. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Call Me Busby. And I'll chat with you guys later. Peace and light.